Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I am a realtor and team leader here for the Short Real Estate team. And we're going to talk about Menifee, the city of Menifee, and where you should and should not be living in the cities. So, city of Menifee in general, it's grown so much over the last 10 years. There's been a lot of new construction. There's been a lot of infrastructure put in. They've redone the off-ramps. They're putting in another off-ramp still. They're building a lot more commercial, and there's new shopping centers, all that good stuff. But at the same time, there's some areas that you really are going to want to avoid. So that's something we want to talk to you about. I guess a lot of this is circumstantial, right? So it kind of depends who you are, what your goals are, what your priorities are in a house, and what type of lifestyle that you want to be a part of. So first, there's one area that you want to avoid if you are not 55 plus. So there's a large community here called Sun City, and that's a large community. It's older. These are older homes kind of built in the 60s, 70s, early 80s. They're less expensive, but the majority of the area is really, it's an older community, and you can only live there if you are over age 55. So if you are under 55, you're going to really want to avoid that whole entire area. So that's right off of McCall. So there's a 215 freeway, that whole off-ramp right off of McCall. Basically that whole section is going to be for 55 plus communities only. So if you do not qualify 55 plus, you want to stay away from that. And that's a big thing in Menifee. There's a couple others that are there as well. You just got to make sure the house you're looking at is not in a 55 plus community if you don't qualify for that, or if you don't want that, right? So if you want young kids and things around, then you want to stay away from that. One of the big things, reason I mention it, is a lot of people do reach out to us about that community, and they're looking at homes online and they see something that's less expensive, right? It's $100,000 less than say some of the neighboring homes, and they want more information on that. Well, the reason is that the 55 plus community and the homes are less expensive in a 55 plus community. So it's something people ask us about a lot. And that's usually one of the first questions is, hey, well, do you qualify? Hey, do you know this is a 55 plus community? Are you okay with that? Is that what you want? So if you are not, that's something you're definitely going to want to stay away from. Also, another big thing with the city of Menifee, when you're looking around different neighborhoods and trying to find a home, and something you really, really, really want to pay attention to, is if you are tight on your budget, right? And you're tight on that mortgage payment about exactly how much you're going to be able to afford and how much you want to be able to afford and what you're pre-approved for, and you're looking at the top of that budget, you really need to pay attention and stay away from areas that have high property taxes. So a lot of people don't know this, they're not super familiar with the area, but a lot of these new communities, you're going to go in and you're going to see, say if you're approved up to 500,000, you may see two homes, they're both 500,000. One of them was built in 1998, it's been decently updated. Another one is built in 2015, right? And it's just a couple years old, and they're both 500,000. You would think that monthly payment's going to be exactly the same on the two of them, but absolutely not. It is not. That newer home in that newer community with those high property taxes, that may cost you an extra $300-400 a month. And more importantly, that your loan, pre-approval that you have, it's probably not even going to work for that home with that higher taxes as well. So if you're tight on your budget, you're looking at the top end of what you really can be pre-approved for, or what you want to afford for that monthly mortgage payment, you really, really, really need to pay attention to those property taxes. So make sure you stay away from areas with high property taxes if you're not comfortable making that monthly mortgage payment. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the places where you do want to live. So if you're going to move to Menifee, really one of the best parts of town, the best parts of the city is going to be right off of Newport Road. So Menifee is right off the 215 freeway. There's a couple exits that are part of the city. The main exit is right off of Newport Road. And the reason you do want to live there is that's where all the infrastructure is. So they just redid like the overpass and the off-ramps over the last couple years. There's been new shopping centers, several new shopping centers that have popped up. They're building more. They have a movie theater that's supposed to go in at some point there. there, and there's just a lot of infrastructure that they've built. So if you want to be close to the center of town and kind of close to everything that's going on in the city, that's really where you want to be. And there's a lot of really great communities that are right off of Newport. So Newport's a very long road. There's several new construction communities. There's Audie Murphy, there's the Lakes, there's gated 55 plus communities. There's all types of stuff that are right there. So it's definitely possible to find a home that's close to Newport Road. But that would be really a super desirable area of town. Another part of town that you want to try and focus on is anything off of Scott Road. So Scott Road's a little bit more, the next exit south down the freeway. The big thing there is you're just a little bit closer to the Murrieta, Temecula, or even San Diego, right? You're more south. It's an easy off-ramp to get in and out of. They're doing a lot of building there. They're doing a lot of infrastructure that's going in there as well. But those would be really the two parts of town that I would want to focus on if I was trying to buy a home in Menifee. So anywhere off of Newport, anywhere off of Scott, like we talked about before, make sure you're going to dodge those 55 plus communities if you don't qualify and that's not what you're looking for. And then make sure that you are paying attention to that monthly affordability. Make sure, and the best way to do that is probably going to be with a realtor to check those taxes for you, but make sure you're watching that affordability on those special assessments to make sure you're going to be able to afford it on a monthly basis and you don't get in over your head. So hopefully that helps, guys. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. You can see my information. We'd love to hear from you and hopefully talk to you soon.